Hello YouTube. So, my name is Ty. This is my first video. I am going to, for you dear viewers, analyze the recent Kirby Star Allies trailer for Nintendo Switch. Now, I am very much looking forward to this game. I'm going to play it with my friends when it comes out in spring 2018. Now, for me, this game was kind of a surprise because the very first mention of it was at E3 2017, a couple of months ago. And now, Nintendo's telling us that this game will be released to spring 2018. And that is a little less than a year in between its announcement and its release. Now, to me, that's rather impressive. But enough of me talking, you want my analysis. So, I'm going to give you that. Let's make this full screen. Shoutouts to, I don't know, Game Explain. It's their video. I'll link to Game Explain in the description. They have a lot better analysis than I do. This is just my first video. I just want, because of the Direct, I really want to point out my own opinions, my ideas, especially about Kirby Star Allies, which, well, I'm doing right now, and soon, eventually, Super Mario Odyssey. I am very much looking forward to Odyssey as well, but you'll hear more about that once I do analysis on that. So, but right now, Kirby Star Allies. So, immediately we see, well, sword ability, Mr. Poppy, I believe that's his name. And a flower that was opened up probably by Kirby doing some action in front of it. Also, I really like this background. This was the level that we saw in the first announcement of, or the first trailer of Kirby Star Allies. We can see with the ring theme in the back and this strange waterfall. So, sword ability, bomb ability, nothing too new. Power of friendship. Power of friendship, more power of friendship, power of friendship. No new abilities there, nothing new. So running's back, that's a bit all we can gain from this first bit. Now the second, or third scene, however you wish to say it, it gets a bit more interesting for two reasons. First of all, as we can see by this, as well as on the bottom, the yo-yo ability has returned from, I believe, Kirby Superstar. I have not played Kirby Superstar, I've just heard it from a friend, so I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. So yo-yo ability, I've never played with the yo-yo ability. It seems interesting to me, but what seems more interesting about this scene in particular is, well, look, this is Kirby, right? Yeah, we can see that this is Kirby. Except this, player 2, that is not Kirby. That is most likely an enemy from which you get the Kirby, or the copy ability of Yo-Yo from. So you suck up the enemy, you get the Yo-Yo ability. Except, I guess Kirby used the power of friendship thing, make him, or make the, I don't know, Yo-Yo guy good, and then player 2 took him over. So you can play as the enemies. Now, an immediate question I had once I saw this was, what's the difference between Kirby with the, say, in this example, yo-yo copy ability, and the enemy with the yo-yo copy ability? Is there going to be any difference? And, well, only time will tell. Obviously, we can't tell right now because not much is shown in this scene. So, fire ability, umbrella, which, well, we already saw in the first trailer. This level in the background has a sort of beach theme. Like it's on the ocean. We can see the water here, but also sculptures of some sort. It's interesting. Next, this scene. Now, no, this scene. So I'm just going to get to the good part, which is this. I can do better. Here. Now, this scene kind of blew me away because obviously we know about the ability combinations. So as we saw in the first trailer, there is sword and fire combination to make, well, fire sword as I call it, and the water and bomb abilities to create water bomb as I call it. But combination attacks like this one seen right here, so actually I'll play it in case people haven't seen it. Wait, no, further back.
Attacks, like a stone drop using ESP, and many more.
So what you just saw there was Kirby with the PSI ability lifted up the stone, carried him over the enemy in the boxes, let him go, and the stone just crushed everything. So are there going to be, my question is, are there going to be a lot of combination attacks like this? But obviously only time can tell. But my theory, it's just a theory, I have nothing really to base this on, is possibly there are going to be a lot of combination attacks like this. Now my theory behind this is, or my explanation behind this theory, is that obviously we've seen the combination attacks, well, yes, we have seen this combination attack, but we've also seen the combination of abilities, as I just explained, fire sword and water bomb in the first trailer, and more in this trailer. So fire and sword, water bomb, yeah, those could work, but then PSI ability, and PSI is returned from Planet Robobot, PSI and rock, I can't really see a combination in between these abilities. So my thought process, if you can't have a combination of abilities in between two abilities, then make a combination attack like the one that we just saw. So if two abilities don't work together, such as, say, rock and tornado, I'm just throwing out copy abilities, I don't know, those could work for all I know, but they don't seem like they could to me. So if those don't work, then they'll have a combination attack, which is cool. It's kind of like, it's just a little bit like Pokemon in my opinion, where it's like in Generation 6 we got Mega Evolution, which was cool, and then Generation 7 we got Z moves. I don't know why I'm linking this to this. Why am I linking Pokemon to Kirby? Anyway, next scene. So power of friendship, power of friendship, that is what allows you to have combination abilities. And speaking of combination abilities, we now have the ice sword combination ability, which, well, sword can be combined with a lot of abilities, I guess. Like, we've already seen fire, we've already seen ice. There are probably a few more we can get, such as, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, water maybe, tornado, just possible. Obviously, I don't really know for sure. And then next scene, we get a example of how the ice sword works. So, this baddie here, he obviously has a fiery theme to him, and he, to me, looks rather tough. Now, I'm not the most well versed in Kirby history, so if this guy's like a recurring enemy, I'm sorry. So the two Kirbys, player 1, player 2, they do an uppercut, I don't know what to call it, and then behind them, then they slam back down by, well, pressing the B button again, or a special button. Then the enemy froze, and then they broke.
Automate copy abilities and create combinations.
Now another combination, tornado and bomb, and this is the first confirmation that the tornado ability has returned. But this ability in particular, I don't really know why, or, well, with the example, with an example of how this works. So right here, you can use the air bomb,
like a bomb turned hot air
float. Now, for Kirby, this is kind of useless because Kirby has infinite jumps, or however you really want to call it. But then I take a look at, I believe this guy's name is Mr. Kibble, the cleaning guy, as we can see, because he's yellow. That means he's player 2, and he has the cleaning ability here. And I don't know this guy's name. I'm just gonna call him Waddle Dee. Yeah, I'm gonna call him Waddle Dee for now. I know that's not his name, but that's what I'm gonna call him. So, from Waddle Dee, as we've seen in Return to Dreamland, it's like the Waddle Dee with the spear. From what we've seen in Return to Dreamland, he also had infinite jumps, basically even bigger jumps than Kirby. So he wouldn't need the air bomb to float. But the rest of the enemies, such as Sir Kibble and these two, they might not have the infinite jumps that Kirby, King Dedede, Meta Knight, and Waddle Dee had in Return to Dreamland and other games since. So that is an interesting question. Do these enemies that you take over have their infinite jumps? And if they don't, then what's the point of playing them if you can just play Kirby and suck them up and gain their copy ability? So that's a interesting question. Next scene is so we have the cleaning ability again, and a combination in between Tornado and Cutter. So this allows for the Cutter boomerang, I'm just calling it a boomerang, I don't really know the terminology, to be controlled, really, which is cool because before the Cutter could just be angled, it could be just angled a slight bit, you threw it, then it came back to you. It's not that much. But now you can control it, goes straight up and it'll blow propellers. So you can control where the Cutter boomerang goes. That's pretty cool. Now, a lot of stars here, but obviously very interesting to me and to most people who will play this game and are watching this, or any analysis, this collectible looking thing right here. Oh, don't play. This collectible bit, it pretty obviously looks like a collectible. So as an example of a collectible in Kirby's Return to Dreamland, a collectible was the pieces of the Lower Star Cutter. That kind of collectible that you'll just find in levels, and eventually it'll get harder to find them. So this looks like it's going to be the collectible for Star Allies. And as for what it is, I don't know. It has a question mark on it. No one knows. So on with it.
Whether you play
Okay, Waddle Dee ball. Now, as we can see here, or as you will see in a moment,
alone or co-op with up to 3 friends,
what happened?
it's fun to mix up your alliance.
Nope. Technical difficulties. Anyways, so I hope you saw from the Waddle Dee ball, 2 Waddle Dees fell out, which means that the Waddle Dee ball will eventually get smaller as the Waddle Dees, as the ball rolls down, as Waddle Dees
Play alone or co-op.
So this, like, it's probably even like a chase of some sort, the Waddle Dee ball chasing after Kirby and friends, but this seems to be the end of the chase almost, as we can tell by the 3-star gate, and well, we can't tell by the crate here, but there's probably some sort of collectible just past, or a rare or a valuable star, or food or something.
Co-op with up to
Now here is a very, very interesting scene because all of
3 friends. It's fun.
have the cleaning ability, but they're all very different. So we can see here, this Kirby is I think it's Kirby, looks like Kirby, is kind of a witch. So he is flying around on a broom. I will assume that does damage if you run into an opponent. Now here we have Cat. I know this guy has a name, and he's been in previous Kirby games before. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I'm not the best at Kirby history. And he's riding on some sort of sponge and spraying water out behind him. So that's some sort of charge. It'll do damage, I assume. And then this duck, looks like. I'm sorry, it looks like a duck. I'm just gonna call him a duck. He fired some sort of cannon bubble. So there are cleaning abilities, but they're all very different cleaning abilities. So that different cleaning abilities. So they're all the same copy ability in a way, but they do different things depending on what enemy you take over. That is strange, interesting, very different. I don't think this has ever happened before, but I'm really looking forward to this. So we have a witch Kirby.
Trying to mix up your alliance.
Oh well, nothing much to see here except this thing should crush Kirby and friends and kill them. End of the adventure. I don't know why it doesn't.
And create new powers. Together, you may.
Okay. So here we have the fire combined with whip abilities, which is cool. So fire can probably combine with a lot of copy abilities, not just sword. So we can see here it combines with a whip, sword, we already knew this, and bomb. Now this doesn't seem to be much point to me because fire is already related to a bomb. Like you need a fire to light the fuse on a bomb. I don't see how adding the fire copy ability to the bomb ability will change that much. It might provide a bigger explosion, more damage, maybe you can throw the bomb in different ways. That's all I can really think of. So the fire whip ability, we can see Kirby just whipping Wispy. So this is Wispy Wood, or Wispy Woods. Usually the first world boss in a lot of Kirby games now. So we have fire combined with whip, fire combined with sword, fire combined with bomb, and fire. So we can just see Kirby whipping Wispy with a
Have a chance to.
and then a spin attack by the player 2 with the fire sword. So we can see it, it's a circle. It was a spin attack combined with the fire ability by player 2. Nothing much else to see here except Wispy just took a massive amount of damage. So based off of this, I think that certain enemies, or maybe most enemies, including some world bosses such as Wispy, have elemental weaknesses. So Wispy is a tree, he's weak to fire, he will burn up. And then other enemies, for example, fire, any enemy that has to do with the fire ability, or maybe even Kirby himself, would be weak to the water abilities, basic stuff like that. And if there's a leaf ability, then, well, fire does well against that. It's kind of like the whole Pokemon triangle effectiveness. So, you know, water effective against fire, fire effective against grass, grass effective against water. If there's a leaf ability, I mean, we don't know yet, but that's possible. Nothing much else to see. So Wispy is a ton of damage.
Defeat the dark new force.
Oh, and he has a pretty shocked expression. More damage. Look at that face. He's in pain. He's gonna burn up. What are you guys doing to him? Free Wispy.
Manipulating Dreamland.
And, okay, this scene. Nintendo, what are you doing with this? Because I really want to know. I think the whole internet wants to know. What did you pump DDD with? What did you put in those arms? DDD before had no arms. He had flippers. He's a penguin. A blue penguin. Now look at those arms. Those aren't flippers. What? I don't know why I'm even saying this. But this is obviously a boss fight. I believe it's accurate to say that this is a world boss fight, so the final level in the world, kind of like Wispy. So this is a phase transition, as we can see. We can see the health bar of King Dedede up here, and he's taking quite a bit of damage. Now, could be that up until he took that much damage and switched phases, he was regular, good old King Dedede, regular sized arms, no bulging biceps, with this hammer trying to clobber that Kirby. But it could be because of the phase switch that now he's swole, he's ripped. He has bulging biceps, and he has a very strange crown. Never seen that crown before. It's very strange. I don't really have anything else to say about this part, except that he has a lot of food. He finally got the food he wanted. So, yeah, that's about it. But then, the next scene here has a lot of interesting parts to it. First of all, Dee is just swinging around like a monkey, except he is still a penguin. I mean, I don't even know. This is just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. DDD being, I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna focus on DDD right now. Right now, I'm going to focus on the Kirby. So, player 1, it has the hammer ability combined with the fire ability, which is a new combination. So, as I had previously said, fire seems like it can combine with a lot of abilities, and fire and hammer, we really shouldn't be surprised. After all, hammer flip. So, hammer flip, the move for Kirby, if he has the hammer ability, that is a move that Hammer Kirby has had for a long time, and it does, like, the hammer's literally engulfed in flames, and he just smacks his opponent with it while it's still on fire. So we really shouldn't be surprised by this. So probably means like a more powerful hammer flip. Then the second ability, sword, combined with a new ability, copy ability. Now we don't really know what this is. We haven't seen this combination before, but I'm going to make a reasonable assumption and say that's electricity. Now, if it is electricity, then that's new. We haven't seen electricity as a copy ability in Star Allies so far, and now we know that it can be combined with sword. So an electric sword makes sense because the sword is metal. Now here we have ice and bomb, and yes, I do know that's ice because if we look back to this scene with the ice sword, now we obviously know that was the ice sword. We just saw it become the ice sword in the previous scene. Now if we look at the ice cube here, pretty clearly an ice cube. It's the same ice cube as is in this scene. So here, so it's ice bomb, and we can tell because there's ice here where player 3 is. And then finally here, cutter and tornado abilities. We've already seen this. Nothing much to say about it, and I do believe that's
Kirby Star Ally.
Yeah, DDD's just swinging around everywhere. So available spring 2018. I'm down with that. I really like it. So thank you for staying with me this long. I just really wanted to make this analysis because of the Nintendo Direct, which happened last night. I just wanted to give my personal opinion, what I saw in these trailers. So this is Kirby Star Allies right now. Soon I will be doing a Super Mario Odyssey, but this isn't my thing. I'm not going to do analysis, whatever. That's not my thing. My thing, so what I'm really planning to be doing is content, not really like analysis. I'm going to be doing gameplay. So, like my favorite games, Super Smash Brothers. It's been 3 years. I still love it. Smash 4 for Wii U. Splatoon 2, very recent. I'm having a great time with it. And in about a month when it comes out, obviously Super Mario Odyssey. So I'm going to be doing a Let's Play of sorts with it. And I've tried streaming recently. It didn't work, so I'm just going to be sticking to recording like this. So kind of like if you watch Smash Tube, like YouTube with Smash Brothers content, then you probably know about the Nintendo YouTuber named Nintendo. So I'm kind of going to be doing stuff like he does, especially for Smash Bros. But I'm also doing Splatoon 2 soon, Super Mario Odyssey, and eventually, who knows? Who knows if this channel can grow? This is my first video. I'm really not expecting much. That's about all I have to say. So soon expect a Super Mario Odyssey trailer analysis. The trailer is 7.5 minutes long, so I'm going to have a analysis probably a lot longer than that. But hey, I just want to voice my own opinion, ideas, and everything. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with this really long analysis. And now you know my plans, I suppose, if you've been listening this far. So thank you very much for watching, if anyone is watching, and see you soon, hopefully in my Super Mario Odyssey analysis. Bye.